Welcome back, mission-driven moms. I got an email recently from my 18-year-old son, and I want to read you part of what he wrote in this email to me. When I was pretty young, I don't remember exactly how young, I wasn't feeling very motivated to read. Mom, you sat me down and told me that you noticed I seemed to be motivated by positive results much more than by negative consequences. So you said, as soon as I read The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis, I could go see the movie in the theater. Not only did this develop my love for education further, but it showed how much you cared by citing a specific personality trait of mine and giving it a practical life application. Do you have any idea how many times I've thought back to that experience as a profound life lesson about myself? This specific realization again came to me this week and has changed the way I think about the mission work I'm engaged in. I realized the negative talk about what happens when the missionaries break the rules and don't work hard, and it was killing my vibe and getting me bummed out on the work. Since then, I've started putting positive motivations into my life relating to the work, and guess what? The work is super fun now. I actually enjoy it. The reason I wanted to read this to you is not so that you'll think I'm a super amazing mom, because I'm no different than you. My son is talking about a combination of factors that go back to the very beginning when I got super excited about the idea of life mission and I was working on my own education. I got turned on to a couple different books that talked about temperament and intelligences and things. And those books showed me, kind of along with Dale Carnegie and some other things, that people are very different. I mean, so different in so many ways that I had never imagined as a child. And so I went on this quest as part of kind of this desire to understand life mission and to prepare myself and my children. A big part of that was self-discovery. I talk about that in my book, The Mission-Driven Life. Self-discovery is a very important part of loving yourself. But you can see the effect that self-discovery quest that I was on has had on my children. Because as I learned how people think differently and live differently and value different things and perform in different ways, every piece of that puzzle gave me clues and insights into my own children. This is I have one other child that I think is probably more motivated by positive than by negative. If you read things about that, they'll talk about how, some huge percentage, 80 or 90% of people are motivated by pain more than by pleasure. This particular child, this son, is motivated a lot more by pleasure. And as I was studying about it when he was little, I was learning about this concept. Actually, I don't remember this specific event very well. I remember when I first learned it and applied it to him because it made a huge difference, and it made a huge difference in the way that I parented him from then on. He was potty training and he was really having a hard time. And boys struggle more than girls anyway, but he was really struggling. And I learned this concept that some people are more motivated by positive rewards than by negative consequences. And so he was really into cowboys at the time. We had taken him to the rodeo and he just thought it was the end all. And he always wanted to learn about cowboys and had his little dress ups and would run around the house. And so I took him to Cal Ranch, to a real cowboy store. And we wandered around and we found the dream cowboy hat. Now, within reason, right? Like within a budget I was willing to spend. And he put it on and he felt it and touched it and looked at it, and I told him that when he had been dry for a week, we would come to the store together and we would buy this hat. And he was dry for a week, like from that moment on. And that lesson about who he is profoundly affected the way that I parented him. And then now it's positively impacting his life out in the real world, doing real work with real people. He realized he was having a really difficult time focusing on the negative and, the pain of the consequences, and now he's put those positive factors. So this is just one tiny component of self-discovery. I mean, one tiny, tiny component. When we launch the MDM Academy this fall, there's going to be a lot of cool things that we're going to do in level 1 for self-discovery. But there's some stuff that's in the enrichment materials that we won't have time to cover in depth in the Academy. And so I want to do something really fun. I want to take this idea of self-discovery and work on it together with you in a Facebook Live this week. So we're going to get on together in the Mission Driven Mom Mastermind group, and we're going to dive in. It's going to be called Kickstart Your Self-Discovery, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some basic components of what self-discovery is and how to kickstart your self-discovery quest at your house with yourself, and then use that stuff with your children, because it's really going to make a huge difference in the way that you see yourself, the way you see your children, the way that you parent, the way that you see the world, and it's going to help you on this mission journey to prepare yourself for the eventual calls outside your home that will come eventually. So please look for that time and place and be there so that we can learn some of this basic self-discovery information together. You can ask questions, we can engage and work on this together. And please pass this on to anybody that you think would love to be on that Facebook Live with us. Share this post, invite them to the group, because it will only be for the members of the group that can get onto this Facebook Live. So they'll want to be there with us, and make sure that you're there when we do it, because it's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.